Hi and welcome to my class. My name is Ria and I'll guide you through a power class. And this class might be great if you're used to doing yoga. If you're new in yoga, I would recommend you to do maybe slow yoga classes just to begin with. And CrossYoga, which I teach, is a Christ-centered yoga for everybody. So when I mention God or I pray, you can just listen along and just learn and hear, or you can pray with your heart, whatever works for you. I'll invite you down on your mat. And as you sit down, just notice that you don't have to sit as I do. So sit somewhat comfortable, whatever works for your legs and hips. Hands down on your thighs. And we'll just spend 2 minutes here breathing, and I'll read something from the Bible. Sit tall, and if you feel a little bit at unease in your body, you might choose to move, but do it slowly on the mat. As I was preparing and reading a Bible passage this morning, it spoke to me that the Bible is so full of people who are not heroes, who can't make life work, who ask questions about suffering and purpose in life. They ask questions to God. And just listen to this very briefly, Psalm 77 in the Message version. It says here, "Will the Lord walk away and leave us for good? Will he never smile again? Has his salvation promised burned out? Has God forgotten his manners? Has he angrily stomped off and left us? Just my luck," I said. "The high God retires just the moment I need him." So how often haven't we thought about God like he must have retired. He must have been, busy doing something else or not listening to me, because why? But then listen here. The psalmist say, "Once again, I'll go over what God has done. Lay it out on the table, the ancient wonders. I ponder all the things you have accomplished and give a long, loving look at your acts." So what spoke to me from this passage is that sometimes things can be dark and I don't understand what's going on. But what might help me is to look back and think of what God has done in my life already. I made it this far. And there are so many gifts I've been given, and you as well, that we just forget in this darkness or this confusion we're in. So today I want us to remember and look back once in a while during our power yoga and be grateful for things that we have seen, the move of love in our lives. Do a little bit of free postures seated. So move your spine. If you happen to have a block nearby, it would be great to have it. We're going to do some fun poses with it. Your Ujjayi breath is excellent for power yoga. And make sure to engage your wrists to warm them up a little bit. And then move into down dog. Moving your hip up and back. Paddle your feet. And maybe do a little bit of hip dancing here, or bouncing. So bouncing a little bit to shake things off. And while we'll be moving here in down dog, just think of one thing that you're grateful for today. One thing, maybe something that had happened today, or
people you're grateful for. And then walk your feet to the front end of the mat. Fold forward. Maybe a sway from side to side. And then we'll do a little bit of sun salutation B. As I sometimes say, it's not about worshipping the sun. I don't know if it's actually ever been a practice that worship the sun. I can't find it anywhere in written things that it's been sun worship as such. But let's just greet the creator of the sun and the creator of light and life. Sit down in your chair. I'll guide you through it without the breath the first time. From here, fold forward. Lift up halfway. And then walk your feet back into plank pose. Align in plank pose, hands, elbows, and shoulders. On your toes or maybe on your knees, move your shoulders front of your fingertips and then lower down with a straight spine. From here, lifting your chest up and moving into down dog, tucking the toes under. I'll do the slow variation of sun salutation B, somewhat slow. Right leg up towards the sky and step it through. Warrior one. Back foot a little bit out to the side, knee and ankle aligned to the front foot, and lift up in warrior one. Move your hip to the front, closing the hip as much as possible. Going for a long, big move as we find plank and lower down in between our hands. Cobra or your up dog where the hip is off. You can still have your knees down, no worries. And then down dog. Left leg lifted up and try to move it slowly and gracefully in between your hands. Right foot lowers down, lift up. And once again, plank to a low plank. Make sure that back heel is peeled off before you step back. Navel in as you lower down. Cobra up dog. And then again, your down dog. If you want to jump, lift the heels off, bend the knee. Take some momentum here to slowly jump to the front and lower down the heels, fold forward. Chair pose. And then your mountain. And let's go right ahead and use our Ujjayi breath. Inhale, chair. Exhale, fold forward. Half lift, inhale. Plank, low plank, jumping or walking back. Inhaling cobra or up dog. Exhaling down dog. Right leg, inhale, lift it up. And again, slowly exhale, bring it to the front. Inhale, warrior one. Now take a huge exhale as we'll go from plank to low plank. On that exhale. Inhale, cobra up dog. Down dog, exhale. Left leg, reach it up, inhaling. And exhaling, stepping it to the front. Warrior one, inhale. And long exhale, plank to low plank. Lots of core and arm work here. Am I right? Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, preparing to come to the front. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, chair. Exhale, mountain. And just one breath in mountain. One more time through, then I guess we're pretty warm. Inhale, chair. Sit low. Exhale, fold forward. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, plank to low plank. Inhale, cobra, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Right leg lifted up. Exhaling it through. Inhaling, warrior one. Ready? Exhale, plank, low plank. Remember, shoulders away from your ears. Lift up your shoulders, tuck them away. Down dog. Left leg, reach. And step it to the front.
lifting up. And again, plank, low plank. Lots of triceps work here. If you are not already aware, tricep is the back of your arms. To the front, inhaling. Exhaling, folding forward. Chair pose, inhale. And mountain, exhale. Catch your breath and maybe a sip of water if you're thirsty or just feel like it. We're going to continue with a block or maybe just a shoe in between your legs to engage the thighs. So you take your block here, somewhere there, higher if it hurts your knees. So a little bit shorter distance in between the feet than your hip width if you have a block. Sit down in your chair and squeeze on that block like you could flatten it. And then I want you to engage your shoulders by doing your cactus arms. So let's do that kind of dynamic. 5, squeezing your shoulder blades, spreading out the fingers. 4, maybe on your breath. Exhale, 3. 2. The last one. 1. Sit even lower, arms aligned with the ears, and stay here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Ouch. Fold forward. Still holding the block. And let's do something else with the block. You can have hip width distance again in between your legs there. Lift the block up in this position, or just the end of the shoe if you have a shoe. Sit down and squeeze the block quite tightly. You don't have to stretch your arms like this. Just squeeze, bending your elbows. Hold it for 5, 4, sitting lower, 3, 2, and 1. Yay. Block down on the floor in front of your left leg. Lift your right leg up. Half moon. It's not that you have to use the block, but it's really nice. Extend the leg, open up your hip. Right arm reaches up. Stay long, stay tall. And if you want to go nuts, you can kind of bounce the top leg a little bit. Up and down. Up and down. It requires a little bit of extra attention to do this kind of bouncing with the top leg to keep the balance. But let's try it just for a few more seconds. Yeah. Let's lower down right leg. Take the block in your hand. Warrior 2, extend your arms out, holding the block. Sink low. And while we're holding the block, right now, maybe your worries, if you have anything, is in the future. What's going to happen? Why all of this? What am I going to do in the future? Let's take this block and bring it to the back and just think about all the things that already have happened, of gifts in your life. Maybe you look back. The blessings, the revelations of God, if you've experienced such things. Focus there. And maybe on the front thigh, being really tired now. All right, windmill your arms around. Lower this block. It must be down on your floor, on the inside of the front foot, on your right hand. Back heel off the mat. And let's go for a bit of a twist with the block. All right, down. High lunge. Reaching again with your hands here on the block on this position. If for some reason you want to do it differently, I'm not going to complain. Reach your arms up And then go for a tricep, squeezing the block again, lifting up. Let's do 6. You can even use a weight here if you prefer. 5. 4. Squeeze it together. Keep elbows shoulder width distance. 2. And 1. Reach the block down to the front, then step to the front. Fold forward. This is your active pause. Spreading out your toes, maybe moving from heel to ball of the foot. And then our half moon on the other side. So your right hand on the block. Right foot stays down. Lift up left leg first, making sure you don't crush your legs. Adjust your hand so you feel somewhat safe. Gaze on the ground unless you want to challenge yourself. Left arm reaches up. Keep using your Ujjayi breath. And maybe you want to go for that bounce sensation in the top leg, lifting it up and down. And all those small movements in the standing knee and ankle, all of that powerful movements that helps you adjust, helps you get stronger. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. How do you feel? Block in the front hand. And what I did before with the blocks can also now be a symbol. Let's just find warrior 2 first, like really going low and all of that. Now, if anything specifically in your hand right now, as you have your block here, you want to let go of. Maybe you think of one thing, 2 things. Worries. And lift it up to God. This is just symbolic, so it might feel a little bit silly, but anyway, let's go with it. Shift hands. So take the block in the other hand, like you let go of that worry. Extend the block to the back hand, out with the arms again aligned with the floor, and then look towards your front hand. It's empty now. You can let go and let God. Windmill your arms around. The lunge position with a twist. Left hand on the block, aligned with the right front leg there, lifting up, right arm. Let your hips sink low for a stretch. Looking down or up. High lunge. So you might adjust your stance just a little bit. Block on the long end above your head. Going low if you want to strengthen and tone the front leg there and the back as well. And let's do those triceps again. So it really doesn't help a lot if you just move your arms without squeezing the block. So you have to firmly push the block and keep your elbows. I'm not sure you here. Keep them here, not there. I don't want elephant ears. Okay? So move your hands back and up. 5, 4, 3, 2, and just one last one. Awesome. Let go of the block. Down dog. Shake things out. You might feel this in your arms after our tricep strengthening moves there. Vinyasa flow. Plank. Inhale. Exhale, lower down. Cobra up dog. Inhaling. And then your down dog.
Now you can do any sort of balance pose that's on your mind right now. Headstand, crane pose, whatever. I'm gonna go with a forearm balance just for now. So just choose whatever you like. If you happen to think, oh, forearm stand, I'm not so familiar with that. It's not often I use it. Come down on your forearms, almost like you would do a plank. Don't fold your hands. Hands down here. Lift up, and then you actually have to kick up your hands. Now, notice that you might fall to the side if you fall, so don't have, a couch or a table or something you'll fall into. Make room. So kick up slowly, and then all of a sudden, you will keep your balance. You also have the scorpion where you bend your back and your knees, but you don't have to do it here. So play with whatever posture is in your mind right now. It doesn't have to be perfect, it doesn't have to be long. But just keep practicing it. Keep breathing. And then find your way back. And maybe into child's pose for a little bit of a rest. If you use your arms, shoulders, take your arms down by your side like I do now. All right, extend your arms out. Lifting up into down dog again. It's a little bit of a playful moment. I hope you think so at least. More balance pose. Lift your right leg up and step it to the front. Now warrior 3 will always, in my book, be a really, really hard pose. So that's why we're gonna do it. Okay, lift the left leg off. Maybe take a look back, toes pointing down, leg horizontal or aligned with the floor. Let go of the floor with your hands. Reach your arms out and stay with this for a few breaths. Keep stretching. Legs, arms. Keep breathing. God is good also in warrior 3. One last breath. And then see if you can keep your balance as you come here to the top end of the mat. Now cross this left leg on top of right and sit down into your eagle pose. So your left leg uncross once or twice around the leg. Left elbow beneath. Reach around once or twice. Go for your sleeping eagle if you're up to that. Squeeze your inner thighs. Then let go of the wings, open up. Send this left leg back. See if you can keep your balance. Lower down. Hands on the mat. Right leg up and back. Stretch it out. Extend it. Open up your hip. Keep breathing. Let the fingertips reach down on the floor. Micro bend the elbows. Engage your root leg. Keep lifting and breathing. Oh, you're doing so good. Awesome. Maybe keep the leg lifted as you do Vinyasa. You don't have to. It's just an option. Coming to your plank. Lower down. And then when you're down, both feet on the mat. Lift your chest and down dog. Let's do the other side before we regret. Left leg to the front. Lift right leg up and back, closing the hip again. Just take a look back.
Align your spine with the floor. Let go of the floor. Woohoo! See if you can reach your hands to the front. Use your breath to keep your go steady. Stay with me. 2 more breaths. Eagle pose. Take your wings out. It's just easier that way. Cross your right leg on top of your left. Sitting down, squeezing your inner thighs. Right elbow below your left. An option of sinking down into your sleeping eagle or angel, I think I heard someone call it. Releasing, trying to keep your balance. Extend this leg back. Now lifting up left leg. Open up your hip. Take a look at the standing leg, aligned with the long end of the mat. You can do it. Same muscles we use in our half moon pose. So you might feel this tomorrow. One last breath. Vinyasa flow, maybe with your left leg lifted. Lower down. Inhale up. And let's do child's pose. And as you rest here in child's pose, just listen again. Once again, I go over what God has done. Lay out on the table the ancient wonders. I ponder all the things you have accomplished and give a long, loving look at your acts. And what actually happens next in the chapter, if you read it, is that the author of this chapter praise God for the nature. So maybe you need to go out in nature to be reminded of God's goodness, also in the midst of your circumstances. Come into a seated posture. Let's do the cow face posture, I think it's called. Left leg at the bottom, right leg at the top. See if your knees somewhat can be aligned. If not, just sit in a cross-legged position. Stay here, relax your thighs, your legs. Now your right leg is on the top or maybe on the front. Lift your right arm up and go for a little bit of a side stretch to your left side, but right arm up. Letting go. Changing position of the legs. You can always just squeeze it out a little bit. So your left leg is at the top. Sit for a while, maybe massaging your feet, trying to relax your thighs. And then lean to your right side for a side stretch. Don't lift the sitting bones off the mat. go. Shake it out. And then come into your lizard pose on the mat. Let's do right knee on the mat and left leg to the front. Elbows and hands here on the inside of the foot. Let your hips sink low, and maybe you want to go. We're not going to stay for that long here, but going to go down on my elbows. Coming up again, switching legs. And I'll finish in a moment our class or a time together, just 1 minute seated on the mat. Of course, you could come down and rest on the mat instead. All right, sit down on the mat as comfortable as you can. Maybe you sit on your block. Place your hands maybe like this, palms open on your knees. Sit tall. And for 1 minute in quietness, I'll invite you to just think back of good things that have happened in your life. And if you're a believer, maybe you think about God's goodness in the midst of whatever you're going through right now. Just think back for 1 minute. I'll wrap up this class with a prayer that you can pray with me if you want to. God, I thank you for everything that you are doing already, even though I'm not seeing it. Thank you for your loving moves throughout my life, here and there, and let me never forget who you are and what you are capable of. Thank you for your amazing love. May I trust in that and lean into that. Amen. God's blessings on your path from my heart to yours.